Good morning, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. It's like 7 in the morning. I always get up super early on Thanksgiving to get started because my children are older, so they have families of their kind of their own or other families to visit. So we always make mommy's house first, okay? Because they trust mommy's cooking and all of that good stuff. So I did prep a lot last night. So I'm kind of just going to make this kind of like a vlogging, kind of see what I'm doing. I'm doing some light cleaning. I went around to make sure my kitchen was kind of in order. Of course, before I get started, because you don't want to start off with a messy kitchen. So I cooked my collard greens last night. I'm going to show you that. And I just chopped veggies for my dressing. I shredded cheese for my macaroni. I brined my turkey already. So I'm going to show you guys all of that, but I'm going to get started first with my macaroni and cheese and my dressing. All right, I got 2 pots going. This is just water with a little salt and chicken bouillon in it for my macaroni noodles. And over here is a whole stick of butter that I'm going to saute my veggies in. And here are my collard greens. They're pretty much done. Here's my onion, celery, bell pepper. My kids don't really like to taste them or bite them, so I always start off with them chopped super duper small, and then I cook them down substantially before I add them to the dressing, almost like to like a paste. I got 16 ounces of elbow macaroni, and I cook them a couple minutes under al dente. These little vegetables, I'll cook these down for at least 20 minutes, and then you figure they'll then bake in the oven for about an hour for some dressing. I'm making a seafood dressing, not a regular one. So it's going to have some shrimp, some crab meat, and some crawfish in the dressing. And yes, I use Jiffy for that dressing because they like it kind of sweet with the seafood. Trust me. So here's my cornbread I baked yesterday. You want to kind of over bake it and then leave it out so it can get kind of dried up and stale. And then I already shredded up all my different cheeses for my macaroni. So I'm going to break up my cornbread. I have to clean my shrimp. And I'll chop them up a little bit for the dressing. I'm going to fry some too. So I'm going to break this up nice and crumbly, and I will be back. All right, we're going to drain our noodles. I'm going to save a little bit of pasta water because I don't make a roux. That's something you fancy people came up with. We never made a roux for macaroni and cheese. I don't even think back in the day they even knew how to spell roux. And here you all come making a roux. Turn off your flame. Stick of butter. It's soft already. Add my noodles right on top of the butter. Coat your noodles really well in the butter. So I don't go crazy with seasoning for my macaroni. I just make sure it has flavor. So that's my Nature's Own. It has pepper in it, but I like a little white pepper. A little white pepper. Paprika. Gives you the little color for your cheese. Couple spoonfuls of sour cream. All right, stir it around. I do use egg in mine. So for you roux people, y'all can do roux. I'm going to do egg. If you don't like egg in yours, don't put it in there. But it stabilizes it a little bit. Like everybody wants this new school macaroni where it's all soupy and creamy like Kraft macaroni or something. I don't like that. We like ours a little bit solid. Pet milk, I add a can of cheddar cheese soup. My cheeses, I have a little smoked Gouda, mozzarella, sharp cheddar, and Colby Jack. That's it. And maybe like scattered throughout, I keep a few cubes of Velveeta in there. The heat is off, so the heat of the macaroni noodles is what will melt my cheeses. And just do them a little at a time so you can make sure they spread out really good. Little batches. And I shred my cheese myself. Don't use it out the bag because it won't really melt for you. It'll be like plasticky almost. And I just kind of eyeball it to see. I don't like it to be like more cheese than macaroni. I don't like that. The ratio should be however many ounces of noodles you're using, you should have equal amounts cheese and milk. All right. If you do it like that, it'll be a perfect balance. So that's enough for me right there because we got to put some on top too. All right. So when I get to this point where it's getting hard to stir, I start adding some liquid. I only use evaporated milk. I know I'll need this whole can. Stay with me. We don't want no dry macaroni. I'm probably going to end up using 2. Yeah. Or at least 1.5. All right. So once you get a little more liquid in it, you can kind of eyeball it and see if you want more cheese at this point. But I'm thinking we're good. The whole can of soup. Keep stirring here. Ooh, this look good, y'all. See, that's cheesy enough. Y'all be doing too much. All right, so for my taste, I need a little bit more milk at this point still. Ooh, don't need the whole thing. And then at this point, see, that's getting good to me. That's getting good. Maybe a tad bit more. Because you want to make it a little bit loose because I like to add an egg. Just 1 egg. And that'll solidify it a little bit. So you want to start off on the looser side, if that makes sense. A little hot sauce. And a little squirt. Don't even taste it. Just gives a little bit of flavor in the background. And at this point, it's not very hot. So I'm safe to just throw an egg in here. Like I said, just 1. I don't like it a brick, but I do like it to kind of hold together. So there's my egg. I'm going to hurry up and get that mixed around so you're not scrambling it. So look at that. Why would you need a roux? Like, why would you have to go through those extra steps of doing butter and flour and for what? Look what I got with just doing it the way I did it. So I'm going to prepare my pan. I normally like to cook my macaroni in a glass pan, but it's Thanksgiving and we got a lot of food to cook and we ain't trying to have all them dishes. So, but just know. And then I'm going to do half a little thin layer of cheese and then the remainder. Okay. Ooh, that took some skill, didn't it? Shake that. Then we're gonna, I got some little chunks of Velveeta. I want to make sure this gets in there. Not too much. And I don't like the Velveeta to sit on the top. So I kind of separate it out so it gets stuck in the middle. So you don't need a whole lot in between. It's just like a little extra little oomph. All right. And then the rest. Make sure y'all can see. And another thin layer. You don't have to have a complete covering on top. Just spread it out. I'm trying to make sure I grab mostly the shreds as opposed to the chunks of Velveeta. Velveeta gives a creaminess. Say what you want. If you don't like Velveeta or you don't think it's real cheese, then don't add it. We like Velveeta. Velveeta make good grilled cheese, okay? While y'all talking about it's not cheese, well, for it to be fake, it sure tastes good. All right, for me, that's enough because I don't want to like risk it being like a little plastic top on top of my macaroni. Wash my hands. All right, and then we're going to start on this dressing. All right, wash my hands. Then here, all we're going to do is give it a little paprika on top. Sometimes I put like a buttery like breadcrumb topping on it, but everybody don't like that, so you wipe up. And then just so we can look fancy, because it is Thanksgiving, I'm gonna throw a little parsley on top. See that? Jazz it up a little bit. Look like you got it from the caterer. All right. So that's ready to go when we're ready. Now, moving this, here's my crumbled up cornbread. But because it's seafood dressing, I don't use chicken stock. I use seafood stock, of course. Because why not? All right. So I need a little Old Bay. All right, because seafood, I always use my nature seasoning, everything. White pepper, I love. Okay. One thing about seafood dressing is not a very sagey type of dressing, if that makes sense. So I add this to my cornbread. All right. And we mix it all together. It's not, yeah. So you get the really, really dry bits. And this one is not sweet. I'm making a mess. it's not sweet, so it kind of balances out what you're doing. All right. So we're gonna add our vegetables that got too dark, but no one will know. All right. And that has my stick of butter in it. And I'll be back because I gotta chop up my shrimp and get my crab meat. Okay, we are back. I've been doing a lot of prepping in the background. So here's my crumbled cornbread, my vegetables with the melted butter. I put a little bit of Nature's in here, some Old Bay, some white pepper, and poultry seasoning. All right, so we're gonna add in our seafood, crawfish tails. The crab meat, I like to do it at the end so it don't break up too much. So this is my shrimp that I chopped up some because, and don't worry, it'll cook in the oven because I gotta cook it for at least an hour. So I don't pre-cook my shrimp because they may get tough. This is a little secret. You can kind of guess. I don't want to say because my kids will swear they don't like it. Not my son, but mostly my daughters. All right, so let's start to move this around a little bit. I think I might need to make some more seafood stock because I don't think I have enough. So I make my own stock for this. I don't like to use chicken broth because it's what? Seafood dressing. So I make my own stock with lobster base, and that's what I use in here. So we're gonna add that. Don't go crazy, because see, I might be wrong, and then it's already more than enough, okay? So a little bit at a time till you get the consistency you want. It should be not very loose, but not dry, almost like a pudding consistency is the best way to say it. So we definitely need the rest. Ooh. All right, so we're getting there. All right, this looks good to me. So because I gotta really mix my eggs real well, I'm gonna add my 2 eggs. Ooh. Crab cake, that's a little W sauce. Anybody else wondering? I think I need a little more Nature's. A little more Old Bay. It's a big pan. And let's do a little bit more poultry seasoning. Did I tell y'all that was in there? I don't like to use straight up sage because it's not traditional dressing. All right. Then we're gonna drop 2 eggs. 2 eggs. Mix that around really well. I'm not worried about the shrimp and the crawfish breaking up. It's the lump crab meat that I don't want. But you gotta make sure that your eggs are fully incorporated. You see they put the big pieces on the top. Normally I use like jumbo lump, but baby, that wasn't in the budget today. So therefore we got regular claw meat and it's gonna be good. Wash my hands. I'm off camera, but y'all can hear this water running because I wash my hands about 1,000,000 times while I'm cooking. All right, now this we're just gonna barely stir it around so it don't break up any more than it already is. Okay, this is better because I have seafood in here that's raw that I want to make sure it cooks. So if I had a real thick pan, then it would like take a long time, and I wouldn't want to risk that. Seafood, the only things not cooked in here is the egg and the shrimp. Ready for the oven. I'm gonna cook everything all at once. So I'm gonna get this out the way. My hand blaze. Let's get started. I'm gonna use a half a stick of butter. All right. This is the glaze for our spiral ham. This is some pineapples I had left over. I just want to get all of the juice out of there, and I'll use these. I'll spread them, stick them between the slices a little bit, and then I use a whole can of the syrup from the slices, but just make sure it's in heavy syrup. All right. Oh, the flame was too high, burning me up. All right. And then I use the juice of the cherries. All right. And then I use a little bit of mustard. It's almost like a sweet and sour sauce. I need a little garlic in mine. A lot of people don't use it, but I like a little garlicky taste in my ham. So that's good. They say, oh, throw that ham packet away. You know, the one they give with you, that they put in there with it. I don't throw that away. Why would I throw that away? It's brown sugar, hello. Why are you talking about don't use it? Yeah. So watch who you follow. All right, so I'm gonna stir this up. But the one thing I do still add is more brown sugar and a little orange juice. It don't matter which one. Like this, I got some Sunny D, and this show gonna go right in here. About 3/4 of a cup, baby. I'm gonna cook it nice and thick and lay it over the ham slices. I always get the spiral ham. I got it this year at Target. That's where I found it the cheapest. It was $1.99 a pound. So that was great to me. All right, so I'm gonna let this kind of cook down and kind of reduce a little bit, and then I'll show you how I do my ham. Okay, I'm trying to maximize my use of space, so hear me out. All right, so here's my ham, right? My spiral ham. I'm only cooking a turkey breast, so it's in a bag over here, all seasoned up, ready to go. But they cook at the same temperature, so what I'm gonna do is take our sauce. Make sure you spread the layers. Be careful, because it is hot. All right, lift your layers, get all in between. It can sink down because why? Why? Because my turkey's in a bag. All right, so you just basically pour this all over your ham. All right, all over, all over, all over. And the juice that's going in the bottom is what we'll baste with. And you don't have to worry about your turkey mixing with it because it's in a bag. And I just shove some pineapples in between my little slices here, like that. Then I take some cherries and do the same in between my slices. Kind of alternate it a little bit. And here's another slice. Some of them drop down in the bottom. That's fine, because it's just gonna sit in that basting liquid waiting for us. All right, squeeze a few back here. Back here, it gonna fit. Let's go up front, because we got a few slices that just kind of fell. All right. I think that's enough pineapples for me, because I got quite a few in there. All right, and then all I do is sprinkle a little extra brown sugar, because I like a sweet ham. Sweet ham. So let me wash my hands. And sprinkle a little brown sugar on top. You can squirt a little honey. Use your imagination. You can do both. How about we try that, and then I can tell y'all how it turned out. All right, so here we go. Right on top. So it'll caramelize right on top of this ham. All right, that's how it's gonna bake. Once it cooks and all this kind of marries together, then we can baste it, but it's gonna give like a really sweet, good coating on top. So we're cooking both of these at 325. I'm gonna cook this for an hour, and then I'm gonna start basting it. My turkey can just kind of hang out. I'll remove it once it's done, because it's just a breast, so I don't want to overcook it. All right. I don't know when my microphone cut off in my last clip. So, probably gonna be doing poor voiceovers, but that's okay. So I'm just peeling my yams. Then I'll show you guys the sauce that I'm going to make them in. So you can cut them however way you want. It does not matter. All right. I'm gonna show you this one, and then I'll come back with the sauce, because you don't have to watch me peel every single one. Always have your trash close by. I have a trash bag right here hanging up on my knob. You can cut them in slices or like little chunks. My daughter prefers chunks, so I just do just like this, turn them a little bit sometimes, just to get like some kind of uneven little chunks, but that are all about the same size. That's what we're looking for. That's the key. Doesn't matter how you slice it. You just want them to cook for the same size. And you just toss them in here, and I'm gonna do the rest, and then I'll bring you back for the sauce. I don't know if I was recording. I think I was. Stick of butter, a cup of white sugar, cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, a tablespoon and a half of nutmeg, and about 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger, about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 1 tablespoon of orange juice. Melt it down and just pour it on top. Make sure that all of them get covered, but you'll mix it again. You'll bake them covered for 45 minutes at 375. and take them out, toss them around, and then put them back in uncovered so they'll candy. Hence candy M's. And that's it.
One eternity later.
Final result. I didn't do my rolls yet. Mac and cheese, the yams, deep fried shrimp, seafood dressing, ham, and greens. And I gotta put the rolls in. Hey again, it's me. It's much later than when you all talked to me last. The whole day got away from me. My plan to vlog all day, I didn't have the camera on at all. Once my kids got here, it was over with. We were super focused on just family time, enjoying dinner, stuff like that. So I wanted to pop in and say happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys enjoyed yours because we definitely enjoyed ours. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.